All right. So as I said before, uh, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a couple of things on Google Sheet. Google Sheet is a very commonly used is an app from Google for basically a spreadsheet. Now it's very similar to Excel. So in this case, I'm going to get started. A few things, all the videos and information, um, it's already going to be on the unit planner. Okay. So, and the video I did ask you guys to watch about Excel, the link is here. It's on the 18th. The link is here. And today, after I finish recording the video, I put it on the unit planner for today's entry. Okay, so let's quickly get started. You can access Google Sheet from clicking on this waffle thing, and it will take you to this sheets here. And I'm gonna click on a blank spreadsheet. Okay. Now, a couple of things. First off, um, a spreadsheet or Google Sheet. Um, as you can see, you have letters on the top and numbers on the bottom, okay, or numbers on the side. What it refers to is this: the that goes up and down. That is letters. We call them columns. So columns are the vertical columns, and rows are the left and right. Okay, so you can select the whole entire column by clicking on either on the letter or on the number itself. Okay, on the number itself. And what I'm going to teach you guys today is doing a couple of very basic things. Let's start off in terms of let's start off creating a table of values first. Creating a table of values, and then we're going to be plotting the graph. Okay, creating a table of values and then plotting a graph. Okay, so let's do one thing at a time. Let's say I give you a table of values like this, and you want the computer, and then you're gonna tell the computer to graph it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy the numbers from B. So I'll have this column here X, and this column here I call Y. And here I'll just enter the numbers. -2 would be -3. I'm taking the numbers from this table of values here. Okay, so -1, oops, and then here -1, 0 and 1, and here 1 and 3, down here 2 and 5. Okay. By the way, I do recall some of you don't have your Chromebook here with you, and you're trying to do this on the phone. Do let me know how well or not well you can do this on your phone. Okay. Especially, I want to know like how well it works on Android phone and iPhones. Okay. So after you enter the table values, enter a table values, what you do is this: you right click and select all these. Now the individual boxes, they call them cells. Okay, like cells in biology. So in this case, you select all these cells here, and what you do is you go to Insert, and you go to Chart, and now they gave you here a line chart. That seems to be a default function. What I'll ask you guys to do is, instead of line chart, click on it and select scatter plot. Okay. When you click scatter plot, what you can see is that, hey, the spreadsheet or Google Sheet actually plot the graph for you, plot all those 5 points for you. If you take a look, this is your -2, -3. This is your -1, -1. And let's just say I want them to add, after they plot the 5 different points, and let's just say I want them to draw that line. I want them to draw that line. What you do is this: you click on this you click on one of the numbers and you should come to this. I think it's customize. You go to series. You go down here. You scroll down until you see this thing, format data points. You click on trend line. Okay, on trend line. Now for our grade 9 class, right now we're dealing with linear relations. So the type of line you'll choose is linear. Basically, it's a straight line. Okay. Now, if when you guys are going into higher level math or science or business, you guys might be dealing with different types of lines, like curved lines, exponential, and all that. You will deal with it then. Okay. But right now, just trend line, that will suffice. Okay. And what you should also do is on the label here, if you click on the label and show equation, lo and behold, what you would see is, and let me drag this larger, or make this here. Lo and behold, you see an equation that the computer figured out based on these 5 points. Okay? So based on these 5 points, Google Sheet was able to figure out, oh, the equation for this trend line should be y equals 2. Now, a couple of things you do need to learn in terms of reading computer mathematical operation. This here, this small little star asterisk means multiply. Okay, so basically the computer is able to tell you, it's like, oh, the equation of the line is y equals 2x plus 1, which if we look back at our handout, that's exactly what it is. Okay, so hold on for a second. So what I've just showed you, later on I'll take question. So what I just showed you is how do you get the computer to plot a graph for you while you give them a table of values like this. Okay. Now, the second thing I want to teach today is, you know what? Maybe instead of giving them a table of values for the entire table of values, I want the computer to calculate these coordinates for me. You can do that. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click here on the bottom, this plus button, say add sheet. So basically, it's almost like a second page laid on top of the earlier sheet. So sheet 1, that's what we did the first example. And sheet 2 is our second example. You can label the sheets. If you click on this little button here, rename, you can do that. It's up to you. I'm not doing that for this example. So let's just say for this one, I want to get the computer to calculate all the coordinate points for me, which you can certainly do. Let's say we are using, this here, y equals minus 3/4 x plus 1. So you want to tell the computer to give you the coordinate points for this. So first off, I'm going to say this is x and this column is y. Okay. And let's just say, for our sake, we're just going to say we're going to use this value here, minus 8 minus 4. Okay. Minus 8 minus 4. Oops. Minus 4, 0, 4, and 8. Now, what I'm going to tell the computer to do is this. I'm going to enter this formula into the spreadsheet. Okay. So here, to enter formulas on spreadsheet or Google, you press enter. Okay, enter. Because basically you're telling the spreadsheet, like, hey, this is going to be an equation or a formula. Now, if you look here, minus 3/4 times x. Now, minus 3/4 So you'll have minus 3. You're going to have to use the slash button here to show us the over line. This is also the slash button is also the symbol for in computer for dividing, okay? For the division button. So this slash, it means also for dividing. 4, okay? So minus 3 slash 4, as you can see, like the computer is already calculating this. And I close the bracket. I put a asterisk, the star button here. Remember, the star button is multiplying. Now, instead of x, because the computer is smart enough, but not quite smart enough, it's like, well, when you say x, what on earth do you mean? So, just like what we did here, we were saying, oh yeah, when x is minus 2, y is, you plug in this value onto this equation. When x is minus 1, you plug this value on this equation. What you can do is this. You will tell the computer that bracket minus 3 slash 4, close bracket, times. Now, this is a part where I will click on the cell that has the information. I click on this cell here. Now, the cell here is A2, okay? You can see that it's shaded, okay? And then now I do plus 1 as the equation gave us. And I click. Oh, it calculated for me right away. Minus 8, it will be 7, which is what I got when I do it by hand or with a calculator. And not only that, the spreadsheet will have a what do you call autofill suggestion. Basically, it's saying, well, looking at this, it looks like you're going to want me to do the same calculation down here too. So you can say, yeah, I want you to autofill that. And then when you look at each of these, cells, you will notice that, hey, look at the equation. The equation line here is practically the same thing for each one of these, with the exception of the cell they're talking about. So on this bottom one, they say, oh, minus 3 over 4, close bracket, times A6, which is this box here, okay? Or for this box here, minus 3 over 4 times A4, okay? So in this case, this is how you can tell the computer to calculate using equation for a set of values. Now, just a moment. Now, I'm going to do one more thing. Let's just say I'm really, really lazy. And let's just say I'm really, really lazy. I don't even want to spend the time to figure out which x coordinate will be good. Let's just say, hey, I just want to know, hey, rather than figuring out I should go minus 8, minus 4, 0, and 4, and 8, why don't I just do, now right now there's nothing, so it's 1. Why don't I just tell the computer to generate coordinate points for every single point from minus 8 to plus 8, okay? Computer is very good at doing these kind of repetitive kind of thing. So in this case, what I can do is this. On the first value, I would say minus 8.
Testing.
Okay. And then what I'll do is I can drag this down. Oh, wait, that doesn't work that way. So what you could do is also you can tell the computer for the next cell equals the earlier cell, the top one on the top, plus 1. Okay, so now it actually gives me plus 7, and then you can just either you can copy this formula and then go on that way, or you can click on this one button and drag, and it will do pretty much minus 7, it will go every single cell, they will do a plus 1 on the previous number. And now you can do the same thing here. Click on this little button here, drag down, and they will calculate every single point, coordinate point from -8 with the same equation as we have showing here. Okay. Last but not least, we're going to graph it. So I select all these data points, right click and drag to select all these data points. Go to Insert, Chart, and I want it to be a scatter plot, which is what the computer kind of figure out that, oh, this is what probably Mr. Cheng wants. So I plot all the points, go to Customize, go to, I believe, Series, and then go down. I add the trend line. They plot the line out for me. And then go to Label, use the equation, and lo and behold, they also will give me the equation. And when you look at this equation, it's the exact same one as we have from the handout, but instead of a fraction, they just calculate it as -0.75. Okay, so I hope this helps. Again, if you're at a certain part that you're not sure about, stop the video, go back, and try. Okay. This is the one really nice thing about learning how to do certain things on spreadsheet on computer. You watch the video and then you do the task if you need to repeat certain section that you need. Okay, I hope this helps. Email me if you have any questions or comments.